This is a presentation by Debbie Weimert, also known as DayDreamerDebbie, where I'm showing how I painted and put together a piece called Transition. I am using Genesis heat set paints, and right now I am painting the lips with Genesis heat set paint, and just kind of goes slow and easy with it. As you can see, very time consuming, but you have to be careful when painting the lips so you don't go out of the lines. So you just keep going over them, and then you stop and take a look and you go over them some more. You turn it upside down so you can get a better view of the top lip while you're painting it, and there you go. I think we're just about done on the lips, so we're going to put some pink inside the nostrils, just a little bit there to show the shadow in the nostrils. And I know I'm a little bit off camera, sorry about that. So a little bit above the lip to give it a little bit of depth, and then I take a soft brush and brush over it to soften it. So this piece, because it's going to be like a wood nymph, it's not going to be as detailed in the painting, because I'm going to darken it quite a bit. Now I'm doing like a shadow in the eyelid. So do one eye, and then we go over and do the other eye with a little bit of pink. And the good thing about Genesis heat set paints is it doesn't air dry, so you can control it a lot better. Now I'm taking a brush and kind of softening that pink a little bit so it's not as prominent. So and I'll just kind of keep going back and forth. Right now I'm adding some color to the cheeks, and now I'm going to do the ears. Putting some pink in the ears to kind of give it a little bit of a shadow. And like I said, Genesis heat set paints you can work with very well, and you can soften any of it that you put on because it does not air dry. I'm doing the other ear now. I am not a very good painter, so I'm anything that happens when I paint is mostly a happy sometimes mistake or just a happy learning process. Now I'm softening around the eyes a little bit more and adding a little more color there. And I'm starting to add color into the face, just very slowly, just by dabbing and brushing. Genesis heat set paint is really great for this. So you can just really control it as you put it on, and if you don't like it, you can wipe it off. I think with the look I'm going for, I'll just keep adding and darkening. Right now I'm doing a little more of the paint colors. just to give it a little more flesh tone. And then I'll start darkening as I go along. So anytime I add some paint, I soften it with a bigger brush so that it is not as hard. So now I'm putting a little bit of brown so that it's not as pink. So far I like it. I'm going to add some more shadow around the eyes. And still adding some of the pink there. Just to give it some depth and some shadow. Then I'll soften it again. And just kind of keep working that way. So I'm liking the way it looks so far. Now I'm going to start adding a little more color, just dabbing and brushing. And you can see as I go along how it continues to darken. Still kind of a mixture of the pink with a little bit of brown. I'm just going to keep going with that and darkening as I go along. So I do different areas. This is the piece of wood that I will be using on this wood nymph. So sorry about the knuckles. Adding a little bit of color to the back of the ears. And I'll just keep doing that. Sorry about going out of the picture frame. I'm going to add some color around the nose and just slowly darkening it. Just a lot of brush strokes. Starting to add a little more browns into it. Again, I am working with Genesis heat set paints, so just lightly brushing on layers as I go along until I get it the way I want it to look. So I've got the chin just seems a little shiny and not having much luck on getting that shine off of there. I'll keep working with it. Okay, so far so good. Let's see, I'm going to add some color up along the brow line and forehead. Start darkening that area. A little more color on the ears. And that area. And you can see how it's taking shape and how the paint is bringing it to life. I lost some of the color in the lips, so I'm just added a little bit more to that. And sometimes you have to do that. Just go back and add your paint back in. But I don't want them too dark, so okay. Just adding back some paint to the top lip where it's kind of brushed away. turn it upside down to see the top lip a little better, get a better view of that area. Okay. I'm going to add, still working on that chin. All right, now we need to get some of these other areas a little darkened. So under the chin and in that area, dabbing and brushing, doing the neck, getting a little bit of more of a shadow in that area there. Now soften it, adding more to the neck as I get out of the frame. There we go. Back out of the frame. All right, I'm going to turn it and do the other side of the neck. Putting a little bit more darker brown. Just rubbing it in. Adding some into the areas that still have quite a bit of the light color on them. Yep, so that chin is bothering me. All right, work on this ear again, get more color in there. Okay. Gonna add some color around the eyes, darken up the eye area a little bit, put some shadow in there. Some darker brown. And soften it by brushing and dabbing. Just really brings out the eye area by doing that. So now I'm going to do the same thing to this eye with some darker brown, and I'm going to soften it. Okay, so I'm still adding color. You can see the difference from the forehead and the rest of the face. And putting a little more shadow in the eyes. And then softening it with a large brush. Do one eye and then the other eye. It's a very slow process, but it's well worth it. Just taking your time and blending it in. A lot of times I get happy accidents that happen that I didn't mean, but you can see where we added to the forehead, and now I'm doing the some more on the back of the ears. Getting that done. And keep going out of the frame. Sorry about that. And brushing. Lots of blending. Try to tone that down a little bit there in the crease of the eye. A little bit too dark for me. So keep working on that. That's, like I said, this is why I like Genesis Heat Set Paint. Because it doesn't air dry. You have to set it with a heat gun. So you can add and take away as you wish without worrying about it. So well, we're getting there. Yep. I'm going to keep adding some color. Now I'm going to do the eyebrows. So just use a tiny little brush. That's not dark enough. I'm going to make it darker. There we go. I'm going to have a darker eyebrow. So I paint that on with a small brush, and then I take this tool with a thin point and I just kind of go over the brow to give it kind of like more of a hair brow look. So, and then I'll go back over with the brush again and just kind of tone that so it looks like that. And then I do the other side. I turn it upside down. It just helps to get it in the right place. Using the small brush again, I will paint on the brow. Hopefully you paint them on, they're even. Then I'm going to take that tool again and kind of draw in the brow. And I got a little piece of paint I need that I touched. I'm going to take a tool, a soft tool, get rid of that right there. So, and I'll probably go over the brow again just a little bit with a brush. There we go. Not bad. Not bad. That chin is still bothering me. There, I think I got it. I had a little bit darker. And just keep working those areas. Get some more shade into the ears. Sorry, I'm out of the frame again. So just about there. Okay, I think we're doing good. Now we're gonna use my heat gun, and I'm gonna set the paint, the Genesis Heat Set Paint. I did not paint the back of the head, or because he's going to have some hair and he's going into the piece of wood. So I like to touch it and make sure the paint is dry. Then I'm going to take some Fabri-Tac and I'm going to get a piece of wool. Then I'm going to put some Fabri-Tac on his head. Sorry about the knuckles again. I'm putting Fabri-Tac on there. Now I'm going to place the piece of wool, because he's a wood nymph. I like the kind of raw look here, curly and wild. So I'm pressing that in, kind of putting it in place, out of frame again. So he's got a little curl on the top of his head. I'm putting a little more glue to glue down the front. Press it in place. So this cute little funky hairstyle. Get this glue off there. And keep pressing it down to make sure it's on there good. Kind of stretch it out a little bit, and there he is. He's got his hair. So just simple for his hair. And he's going to fit in this piece of wood like this. So now I'm going to get my hot glue gun. I'm going to make sure one more time. Oh, it fell out. Sorry about that, little guy. Get my hot glue gun. I'm going to make sure this fits in there. Okay, so now I'm just seeing how it fits in there. And sorry, I went off of the camera a little bit here. Okay, so that's how I want him to fit in. So now he's in nice and tight. I see how I want him positioned, so I'm going to get my glue gun, my hot glue gun, and I'm going to hot glue him in the position that I've chosen. So I'm going to take him back out, and now I'm adding in some hot glue. I'm off camera frame again. Sorry. Oh, now you can see I am adding the hot glue, and I'm going to place them back inside of this piece of wood the way that I had them. Press them in nice and tight there with the hand in place. And I keep getting off frame. I'm so sorry. All right, so he's been hot glued in. Make sure he's nice and tight. I like using hot glue because should anything happen, you have to take it apart. You can heat it up and pull it back out, so it makes it nice. So that part is done, and we're almost, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you.